All right. So, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Lamudi Academy feature today with Nook. All right. So, my name is Den. I'm one of your learning partners for today. And together with me is my co learning partner, Clar. So, Clar, would you like to say hi to everyone?
Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. So, a bright, shiny afternoon to everybody here in the call. All right. So
Okay.
exciting.
Yeah.
Exciting day today.
So we have a lot of participants in the call here today, no, Clar?
That's correct. So, we have participants here on Zoom as well as on Facebook. So, shout out to all of you guys who are tuning in on Zoom and tuning in on Facebook.
Right. Okay. So before we begin our session, we'd like to know where you guys are joining us from, right? So let us know on the chat. Nasan po kayo ngayon? Are you here in the Philippines? Which city you're joining us from? Baka meron tayong mga international participants today, no, Clar?
That's correct. Baka meron tayong OFWs or even those who are settling in already internationally. Ayan. So then I'm getting a lot of messages here. We have San Pablo, Ilocos. So, 'di ba, ang dami nila.
Right. And I see here from Michelle, she's joining us from Las Piñas. And for Clara and I here, we are joining you from Mandaluyong City.
Mandaluyong represent. May nakita din na home post here, a chat.
Mm-hmm.
Mandaluyong daw. Mandaluyong represent tayo din.
Right, right.
All right.
Okay. So thank you guys. I'll just keep your comments, your messages coming in. But before we officially begin with our session, syempre, we would like to introduce to you sino nga ba si the Moody Academy. All right, so we are your learning partners here in the Moody Philippines, and our purpose in action is to elevate your strategies through our empowered solutions. So we strengthen your industry expertise by providing you insight building, skills application, and sharing of best practices. And to walk us through some of our webinar or session guidelines for today, Clark.
All right. So, for those who are tuning in on Zoom, please feel free to turn your cameras on. We'd love to see your faces. Also, feel free to share your insights. So, here on Zoom, use the chat box. On Facebook, you may use the comment option there. So, guys, shoot out any questions you may have or insights as well. And for us to have the best audio quality, we'd like to invite everyone to turn their microphones on mute. All right, to minimize the background noise. And of course, for our Zoom participants, please make sure your name is reflected as your participant name. And lastly, we will be sending a feedback form at the end of the session. Please let us know how we did and how we could do better. And also connect with us using our Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn accounts. Feel free to also share your experience with us by using the hashtags hashtag LA Learning Solutions and hashtag Learning or Lamudi Academy. There you go.
Right. So we'll be looking forward to those posts, guys,
That's
ha.
right.
Kung nanonood kayo ngayon, you want to take a picture of this, go ahead, just use the hashtags, the Moody Academy and LA Learning Solutions.
Right? Baka
Now,
pag ano tayo, makapag viral, no then.
right, that's correct. So help us go viral. Okay, so for today's discussion, we're going to be focusing on two main points. First, we're going to talk about ano nga ba yung trends in terms of behavior and preferences ng ating mga property seekers, right? So we're going to understand that today and how the real estate industry in return responds to today's changing needs of our property seekers. And today we have a very special partner that we will be introducing to you, which is Nook. So we're going to talk about how Nook empowers today's brokers and property seekers. All right. And to start off with our discussion for this afternoon, let's start by talking about the trends na nakikita natin in terms of consumer behavior. Right. So for the past year, Noklar, we've been on lockdown. We've been
Right.
working from home. Even our property seekers, and as our, yung mga sellers na kasama natin dito ngayon, lahat tayo
Mhm.
affected by all of that. And these three are the top three trends no na nakikita natin in terms of behavior preferences. And the first one of that is increased tech engagement. All right. So since we all have spent a lot of time at home, 'di ba? This data from Global Web Index says that yung average time na ini-spend natin on devices globally, not just here in the Philippines, 'di ba, but globally has increased, notably on mobile. So if you can see here, Clarno, ang laki nung jump niya from the first quarter of 2020 up until the last quarter. And this
That's right.
behavior, this
Very
behavior is
interesting
seen
siya.
everywhere.
Kasi then, sorry, no, I was just looking at it and we're looking at mobile and PC. So
Right,
we're
right.
expecting now that more people are using their laptops, right? Their desktops. Pero we're seeing that jump on mobile.
Yeah, yeah, that's correct. And just to add more insights to that, Larno,
Mhm.
so you're working from home, you'd expect people na they'd spend more time sa laptop nga nila, sa
Yeah.
desktop. Pero, there's more advantage to that, you would think, kasi mas convenient, di ba? Especially if kung meron kayong mga kasama sa bahay who are doing online classes. But we can see na people still gravitate towards the use of mobile.
Mhm.
Ayan. And in terms of, sino nga ba yung maraming gumagamit ng technology ngayon, we see na for this age range, no, for the 40 to 65 plus age range, nag-accelerate yung adoption nila sa technology, meaning mas tumaas yung adoption nila or yung paggamit nila ng technology, specifically on e-commerce. And as you can see here, no, yung age range na yun, it's one of the top age ranges na nag-increase, right? Na nakikita nating property seekers for the past year. Yan. So, we could really see na a lot of our property seekers are really looking into doing most of their searches online. And
Mhm.
is this a behavior that you see, Clar, in your maybe mga friends or colleagues mo as well?
Definitely, yes. Of course, no, hindi na pwede lumabas. Hindi, sabi nga naman nila, we have to stay indoors. And so really looking at properties online is the way to go. And I have friends, specifically those who are, starting a family na talagang they have to find their options online. At talaga nasa ano sila 25, mga 25, 26 lang din yung friend ko na yon. So definitely it's aligning with what we are saying here.
Right, that's correct. And as you can see here, let me just put out my laser pointer. Ayan. So even though, diba, this is the age range with the least na increase, they
Mhm.
still share the largest page views. And you can see here the ranking from lowest to highest. Ayan. So nakakita talaga tayo ng consistent interest from our property seeker. And that, Clar, interestingly enough, yung
Mhm.
increase in tech engagement na yon, it actually resulted or it results to the rise of digital commerce or e-commerce. But before I get into that, I want to ask you, Clar, so kailan sa tingin mo nagsimula yung e-commerce na ito? Or what do you know about
Hmm.
e-commerce?
Well, you know what, definitely it is nothing new, right? E-commerce,
Mm-hmm.
matagal na talaga tayong nag-online shopping kumbaga. But of course ngayon, nag-spike up ang demand for e-commerce. So
Right.
I think really what we're seeing now nga is more people are adopting to it dahil of the current situation.
Yes, that is correct. So, marami nga si atin, 'di ba, na mas
Mhm.
prefer na natin ang mag-engage through technology. And,
Tama.
it's easy to see na why this is the trend, right? And what you would like to keep in mind, no, gaya ng sabi ni Clar, is that e-commerce or putting yung selling online
Mhm.
is not a new trend. In fact, again, like what she said, this has been going on for years before yung whole lockdown situation natin, right? But where we are now, how we're dealing with things, this really highlighted the need for this platform. And just to share with everyone here, so McKinsey and Company, this is a worldwide management consulting firm based in the US. They say na digital adoption has taken a quantum leap at
Mhm.
both the organizational and industry levels. So, they actually released a recent survey, and they found out na yung response nga natin into the situation that we are in right now has really sped up the adoption of digital technologies by several years, and it's there to stay for the long haul. So, anong ibig sabihin nito, Clark? So, this means na, for example, yung mga company na nag-expect, for example, it's 2021 right now.
Mhm.
So, they're expecting by 2024, dun pa lang nila gagamitin yung this type of technology.
Tama.
Oo. So, na-speed up siya.
Right, right,
Right?
right. And
Mm-hmm.
it's good. Of course, it's good because we have to adjust to everything that's happening, no? And really, we are adjusting to how humanity is working as well.
That's correct, 'di ba? Yung adjustment talaga na 'yon is very very vital. And
Mhm.
they also saw in this research na yung mga companies in different industries, sinasabi nila ngayon na they are 3 times likelier now than before. So compared before, they're 3 times likelier now to say na at least 80% of their customer interactions are digital in nature. So, ibig sabihin nito, Clar, hindi lang yung transactions, di ba? But even the way they interact. So, if they're checking up on their client, in our context, in real estate, it might
Mhm.
be kapag gustong mag site tripping ni client, right? We're finding new ways, innovative ways to do
That's right.
virtual tours. 'Di
Right.
ba?
That's
And
right.
mhm.
Mhm.
And even in yung training na ginagawa or webinars natin ngayon, normally this would be face to face.
Oo, or nasa venue tayo, right?
Oo.
Usually.
So all 200 of you, lahat ng 200 dito sa call na to, magkikita-kita tayo in person. But oops, sorry about that. So let me just remove the annotation there. Okay. So all right. So, is my screen clear now?
Right. It's
Give me
clear.
a thumbs up if it's clear now. Okay, good. All right. So again, like what I was saying, hindi lang in other industries, but also in what we see in our training, right, Lar, or
Mhm.
in our sessions, it has really taken over. And yung digital adoption na to, or yung rise in e-commerce, from the data that we see here in Global Web Index, yung rise ng e-commerce, hindi lang siya nakakaapekto sa smaller purchases or immediate needs, but also bigger purchases such as properties, right? So sa data na nakikita natin dito, gusto naming i-highlight that a higher percentage of people say that they buy more items online and rely on e-commerce for bigger purchases than smaller purchases, right? And try, I want to get your insights on this, no? So why do you think naglili na rin tayo towards e-commerce in terms of our bigger purchases?
Right. And actually, while you were talking about this, I was reflecting on my own. No? Sabi ko, o nga no, parang hindi lang naman yung mga, let's say, appliances or furniture ang pwede natin bilhin online.
Right.
Pati naman bigger purchases like homes. Right?
Mm-mm.
And these are things na talaga it has changed kasi normally we would really have to get outside and see the house for ourselves and pay it
Right.
off like right on the table, diba? Personally. And now talaga we're seeing e-commerce with bigger purchases. Seeing that, no, seeing these numbers really reflects even sa sarili ko.
Right. And I'm sure, no, yung participants natin ngayon who is increasing significantly sa Zoom natin, 'di ba? I'm sure they would agree to this as well. All right. So before we move on to our next point, I know you guys are excited. But before we move on to the next point, we're just gonna pause here for a bit and see if you guys have any questions. So Clara, from your end, may mga question ba tayong nakukuha? And on Facebook as well.
No questions here, but we have an insight from JB. There
Mm-hmm.
is an easier check of available items for sale plus easier price comparison. And I think the what JB is saying here is, e-commerce is easier to process, right?
Yan, tama yan, 'di ba? Even kunyari in Lamudi, if you're looking for different types of properties, you can
Mm-hmm.
easily check alin ba dito yung mga properties sa swak sa budget ko. So I think yun yung pinapoint out ni sorry, what was the name again? Was it JV?
JB.
JV. Ayan.
Yeah.
Okay. So thank you guys for those insights. Kung meron pa kayong mga additional insights, let us know on the chat. Okay? Right. So we see an increase in tech engagement. We see, and because of that, we see a rise in digital commerce. So now that we know that our customers, 'di ba, lean towards online transactions, ano naman yung mga factors na drive them to make the purchase? Syempre gusto natin malaman to kasi gusto natin malaman ano yung kilite, 'di ba, ng ating
Right.
mga buyers.
Buyers. Mhm.
So just looking at the top three purchase drivers. First of that is promos and discounts. Ako, Clar, alam ko you're guilty with this, di ba? You love promos and discounts, tama ba?
That's correct. I'm really, if anything, kung sinong nakakaalam ng promos at discounts, I'm the person to go to.
Tama, tama. So kapag kailangan ko ng voucher, kay Clara
Mhm.
ako pumupunta. But kidding aside, right? Yung mga consumer talaga natin ngayon, they want to feel as if they spent their money the smartest way possible. Lalo na
Right.
ngayon, we have to be smarter with our purchases. And to do so, they leverage on promos and discounts. Right. So I see we have some raised hands here on for some of our participants. So guys, if you have any questions, feel free to type it in on our chat. Okay, but going back, 'di ba, Clar,
Mhm.
with the situation now, gusto natin we make the most out of our purchases. Kaya promos and discounts talaga. Lalo na tayo mga Pinoy, mahilig tayo diyan.
That's correct. So discount, kasi also like I really like what you said, no. Our consumers are smart now, right?
Tama.
So they're really going to find out ways on how they can, take advantage of promos and discounts, just like me, how I take advantage of discounts too.
Right, right. And another purchase driver that we see is the reviews or the new word of mouth. So bakit ito yung new word of mouth na tinatawag natin? Kasi before we even talk to a client, there's a high possibility na yung client na to or lead na ito ay ginugol ka muna before even
Mhm.
transacting with you, right? So they want to see what is Google saying about you, what people are saying about you, kasi ito yung nagsiserve as your social proof, right? And again, like what Clark said, we have smarter buyers now who are spoiled for choice. And last but not the least is, of course, seamless payments. Especially if you're buying properties, right, Lord? There's a lot of
Yes.
paperwork involved. There's a lot of processes involved. So making that one process easier, such as payments, would influence your buyer to push through with the transaction. And to share with you, so did you guys know that according to the survey conducted by Business Wire, on this is specifically on bigger purchases, ha, or
Mhm.
yung mga big ticket purchase natin, 76% of consumers are more likely to purchase if a simple and seamless payment option is offered. Yan. So, ang bottom line talaga dito is ang ating mga consumers, property seekers, they want a simple and easy experience when they make large purchases. Right? So, knowing all of this, diba, paano ngayon nagre-respond ang real estate industry to today's changing and digital needs? Okay, so before we get into that, we'd like to hear from you guys. So I have a question here that says, are you currently using prop tech and are you considering the use of prop tech? So we're gonna launch the poll here and let us know what you think. So you have to answer the two questions before you submit, no? Para ma-count siya. Okay,
All
so
right.
if you're thinking ano ba tong prop tech, property technology, gumagamit ba kayo ng let's say Lamudi, that's one example. Digital services, 'di ba? So, and second, kung hindi pa po kayo gumagamit, are you considering using it? So, yes, nakikita mo yung value nito, or I don't use it yet pero you would like to know more, or no, I am not considering it. Okay, so Clark, kamusta yung responses natin so far?
Right. So we are now at 35%. And maybe let's give them a few seconds here. No, very interested to know if really is prop tech really being used, or are they using a form of prop tech? Kasi talaga we have to adjust to this growing, kumaga, this advancing technology. But
Right.
also here, I am going to close the poll in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. Ending the poll here.
Okay.
and looking at the results.
And by
Then
the way,
we have.
guys, if you're sorry about that, but if you're joining us on Facebook, want to answer the poll, just comment your answers. Okay, but
That's
what does
right.
the poll say, Clar?
All right, so we have 60% who are currently using prop tech in a form of, let's say, the Lamudi platform or digital services, right? And 40 who haven't but are considering. Now, for the second question, are you considering the use of prop tech? We have yes, I am currently using and seeing its value. That's half of the population here.
Wow. Okay.
Yes, also, but don't use it yet, but would like to know more. 46 there, and 4% who haven't. All right.
Right. So
Interesting.
just looking at this Clar, no, marami talaga sa kanila yung
Mhm.
maraming gumagamit at yung para sa mga hindi pa gumagamit ng PropTech ngayon, kino-consider nila or they're interested to see kasi I feel like they see the value,
That's right.
right? And to talk to you more about, property technology, if you look at different definitions of what PropTech is, what property technology is, they all boil down to one thing. It's the usage of technology and software to assist in today's real estate needs, right? And according to an article by Forbes, for countries like Hong Kong, Singapore, Taiwan, Japan, their governments are actually, advocating for the use of prop tech kasi they really see the value in this, right? So for
Mhm.
example, I think in terms of pagkakaroon ng strong database, which is a prerequisite for all uh, property technologies. Ayan. So
Mhm.
that's one of the things that they're focusing on. And to share with you, in a study conducted by Deloitte on the real estate industry, this is specific to our industry, guys, ha. So these 56% of companies agree na yung situation ngayon really highlighted the need for technology and digital transformation in real estate, right? And why is that? Bakit sinabi nila na kailangan ng prop tech? Why is there you can see the gap here talaga eh. More of them agree compared to those who disagree. Right, Laura? What exactly
Right.
can prop tech help with? So, all right. So share with you the biggest real estate challenges PropTech helps with. So this is based on the data from KPMG. PropTech, it actually has a wide range of pain points to cover. So this involves transactions, your customer experience, even building management, marketing, list management, data management, and to share with you, may mga iba pa dito na hindi nakalista. So some of that would be yung permission
Provision.
process.
Uh-huh.
Do you know any other challenges, Clar, na hindi nakalagay sa list na ito?
That's right. I'm looking at lease renewals, ano pa ba? Maybe performance measurement, mga ganyan. So I think really PropTech is going to help these challenges.
Right. So imagine nyo yung day-to-day transactions niyo or
Oo.
day-to-day life nyo, no? Even in the smallest things like your communication, PropTech really helps with that. And, the two things that we will be focusing on today or the two things na siguro may immediate control tayo would be how we do our transactions and how, our customers experience us, right? And what we'd like for you guys to take note of, or if there's anything na we'd like for you to know today, is that technological advances, itong prop tech na ito, it is developed to aid in your real estate transactions. Right. And this is from an article from Tech Bullion. So, all of these is to make our lives easier, right? Yung goodbye paperwork, hello technological advances, right, Clar?
Yes, that's correct. And while we were talking about this, really, we were asking, no, paano pa tayo magsasell and buy and everything online in real estate. Now we
Mm-hmm.
have PropTech to answer those questions. Huh?
Right. That's correct.
Yeah.
So, one of, and to share with everyone, one of those technological advantages, or sorry, advances rather, na for PropTech is a digital service like Nook. Okay. So before we introduce to you what Nook is all about, and we introduce to you our guest speaker for today, or guest rather for today, let's watch a quick video.
Hey, I'm Cyrus from Nook, and we help people every day secure a housing loan to buy their dream home. In this video, we will explain how using a mortgage broker like Nook will save you the hassle of getting a home loan yourself, and it won't cost you a single peso extra. So what is a mortgage broker exactly? A mortgage broker is a company like Nook that has partnered with major banks, and we act as an intermediary between home loan borrowers and those banks.
We help you find the right home loan for you, and then we work with the bank to get your loan approved. We basically take the hard work out of the whole loan process.
And we do this for free because the bank will pay Nook a commission for finding them new qualified borrowers. It's just the same as when you buy a property. A real estate salesperson helps you and the seller with the transaction, and they get paid a commission by the seller. Mortgage brokering operates similarly. We help to get your home loan approved, and we get paid by the bank. In Western countries, mortgage brokering is a multi-billion-dollar industry that has been around for decades. Mortgage brokers are the largest sellers of home loan products for banks in countries such as the US, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and the UK. For example, in Australia, 60% of all housing loans originate from the mortgage brokering industry. This means that almost 2 out of every 3 borrowers go to a mortgage broker to help them get a loan, rather than going directly to a bank and trying to do the process themselves. So why would you use a mortgage broker? Well, it's pretty simple. Nook will help you find the right home loan and potentially save you thousands in repayments and years off the life of the loan. It won't cost you anything and you don't need to travel to bank branches. In fact, there's no need to even visit a bank branch until your loan is approved. Also, when you apply directly to a bank, you are only choosing one home loan product, so there's no choice. But with Nook, it's like visiting multiple banks at once. There's also no need to fill out lots of loan application forms or wait to find out if you're qualified to lend. So the decision to use Nook is quite obvious. It's the modern and convenient way to get a home loan. So if you are looking to get your home loan application started, reach out to Nook today.
All right. So without further ado, everyone, let us welcome the Director, Head of Partnerships for Sales and Business Development at Nook, Mr. Arvin Chester Abreu. All right. So virtual applause po tayo.
Yeah, and let's hit our applause reaction
Applause
button here.
reaction. All right. Hi, Arvin. Good afternoon.
Hi, Clar. Hi, Dan. Good morning. In
It's
the
nice to see you.
we each other. Good morning. So good morning to everyone. Nice to see you, Clar, and nice to see you, Dan.
It's great
Right.
to see you.
We're
We're
happy
very
to have you
excited.
here.
All right. So, Arvin, I hope you're doing great where you are. You know, the heat is on here in the Philippines. So, how
Definitely.
how are you coping with the heat this past few days? No, it's been really, really, really hot.
Yes. I make sure my aircon is on all the time.
Wow, yeah. For kami ni
Good
Clara,
luck.
usually we take like drink lots of water because
Tama.
Yes,
of the heat. But
definitely.
Yeah.
Lots of cold water definitely will help.
Right. So great to know that. Thank you, Arvin. No. So in the earlier discussion, right, we were talking all about purchase drivers, property technology, and all. So now we want to learn more about Nook. Can you tell us something
right.
about Nook? And why does Nook exist?
Okay, so Nook started actually way back in 2018, and our goal is to make home loans simple. I'm glad during your talk earlier, Dan and Clar, you keep mentioning the word simple, seamless
Right.
transactions, and there's an increase of 80% of digital transactions among real estate. So
That's
I'm
right.
glad to hear that because that's what we're exactly doing. We want to make things simple for the
Mhm.
home loans or mortgage business in the Philippines, to help real estate transactions be faster and more efficient. So we are actually the first mortgage brokering firm, the first online mortgage brokering firm in the country, and we have partnered with some of the biggest banks to make home loans simple. And the reason being is that we want to do away with the old-fashioned, traditional, slow paper base of doing home loans. I'm sure you're very familiar with that, Clara and
Right,
Ben,
right.
how cumbersome, troublesome it is to get a home loan here in the Philippines. And Nook is using technology, to speed up the process to help borrowers, not just borrowers, even real estate brokers with their clients in finding the right home loan product for their property purchases.
Right.
Right.
So it's really about, just listening to that, Arvin. It's really about making that process simple, right?
Yes,
For
exactly.
our home buyers.
Yes, and
Okay.
we want to make sure that the customer experience is really seamless as well.
Right, right.
Mhm.
And you were talking earlier about here in the Philippines, no, Clar, like what Arvin said, the process, the paperwork is really cumbersome, as he
That's right.
said,
Like you'd
right?
have to
Yes,
travel so many miles away just
Oo,
to file.
pabalik-balik ka eh.
Oo. Balik kayo 2
that's
weeks.
so
Balik
true.
kayo.
That's so true.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
And with that, no, I mean obviously that's one of the needs. Pero ano ba yung scene dati, and what really drove the creation of Nook specifically, 'di ba, for our Filipino home buyers?
All right. So before Nook, home loan borrowers were telling us, with the conversations that we've had through the feedbacks and surveys, they've been telling us that when they purchase a property, come the time that they need home loan financing, they don't know which banks to go to. They keep
Right.
guessing, no, on what on the requirements are, and
Mhm.
they do a shotgun approach. In fact, in submitting their home loan applications, they submit to multiple banks, not knowing if they are really qualified, or they are, they can get a loan, no, from the banks that they
Mm.
submitted a loan to. But with Nook right now, in less than 3 minutes, no, they can already tell. We can already tell the client or the borrower which banks can most likely give them a loan, no, or where can they get an approval. Now,
Right.
similarly with real estate brokers, it can be frustrating for them, no, when their client has already paid the equity, 20, usually that's 20-30% equity, and then real estate brokers find out that clients are not ready with their home loan financing. So sometimes the transaction gets canceled. No, that's the worst part, or it gets delayed because again, clients are not ready with their home loan financing needs.
Right. And let's take a look at muna, no, Arvin, with yung home buyers natin or home
Yes,
loan borrowers, kasi kanina you mentioned na marami sa kanila yung nag-shotgun, is that the word you
yes,
the term
yeah.
you use, right? Yung magpapasa sa iba't ibang iba't ibang banks to see where they fit. Right. And we see this kapag lalo na, Clar, I'm sure you would agree, and Arvin, na lalo na pag first time home buyer ka,
Yes,
you
Yes.
don't know the
definitely.
requirements in the process, right?
Mhm.
Yes, definitely. And it can really be overwhelming because there's
Mm-hmm.
tons of requirements, no? Or exactly then for first time buyers, no? It will be really overwhelming for them to do home loan applications. That's why Nook is here to simplify everything and to make the transaction much more seamless.
Yan. Oo, yung seamless na yan, sabi nga ni Arvin, in less than 3 minutes. Right?
Tama.
You see
Three minutes,
already.
right? Di ba yung sabi natin a while ago, yung 2 minutes or 2 weeks rather, balik kayo ng 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Now it is 3 minutes. All
Mm-mm.
in three
Ex-
minutes now.
exactly.
All right. So we looked at the what it looks like for the home loan borrowers. And you explained briefly, no, about the brokers, like what is it for them. But can you expound more on why was Nook created naman in the real estate broker side?
All right. For the real estate brokers, most of them, when they have clients and their clients already paid the equity, usually it's 10 to 30% of the total contract price. And then the time comes that the client needs a home loan or home loan financing. It can be frustrating when the client is not qualified, no, or not ready for their home loan transactions. Sometimes the broker, um, gives up, no, because they don't see a bank that can give a loan to their clients, and it can be really frustrating because ayan na, nandyan na yung ano commission pero nawala pa, nawala pa
Right.
because the client either is delayed with his home loan financing, or worse, no, ma-cancel yung home loan transaction or the entire transaction because again the clients are not qualified. So Nook is here for real estate brokers to help them identify clients who are qualified, no, to get home loans from our partner banks.
Wow. All right. So really,
Mhm.
hindi lang yung home loan borrowers yung
Yes,
keep in mind, right? But also the
yes,
other side, kundi yung mga sellers din natin.
that's correct then.
Ayan. And at this point, we already talked about the home loan borrowers, and actually, we're getting a lot of questions, messages here they want to learn more about Nook. They
Yes.
want to connect. And later, guys, we'll have a separate Q&A session with Arvin. He'll be answering all of those questions. All
Yes,
right, but
definitely.
just keep those questions coming in. But now Arvin, no, earlier in the video kasi we played a quick introduction of Nook, and it talked to us about mortgage broker firms. You also talked about this a little bit earlier, and what we know about it is that it helps yung mga borrowers really connect with lenders or banks, right?
Yes.
So what are some of your additional insights in this, in terms of what the industry looks like globally?
All right. So globally, it is a really a multi-billion dollar industry. In fact, mortgage brokering is very much common in countries like the US, Australia, other parts of Europe. And this is a very common practice. But here in the Philippines, it's something new. Actually, the concept of mortgage brokering is totally new here,
Mhm.
and we are bringing that system or process here in the Philippines again to streamline the old home loan process. In fact, as
Right.
mentioned by the video earlier, 60 to 70% of transactions, home loan transactions, are done through mortgage brokers in other parts of the world. And that's our dream also for the Philippines, no, to elevate the real estate industry in terms of the home loans or mortgage business.
Right. And since this is new technology, especially sometimes pag nakakita tayo or nakakarinig tayo ng new technology, it might be a little bit frightening for us, or
Yes.
either you're frightened or you're excited about it. And you've
Exactly.
given us, a lot of insights about the mortgage
Mhm.
brokering industry. And para lang may insights din yung ating participants for today, can you give us an example maybe of a country na nag-adapt talaga sa industry na ito and how it is for them?
All right. So one of the countries who is very much successful in doing real estate transactions is Australia. In fact,
Wow.
there the real estate brokers and agents and even developers are just focused on selling properties. The mortgage brokers help the real estate brokers, agents, and developers get home loan financing for their clients, and then the conveyancers, those the ones in charge of the documentation requirements, the tax requirements. No, they do all the paperwork. Now, these three entities or three groups work hand in hand to make sure that the entire process of getting real estate transaction done to be completed fast and efficiently.
Right.
Mhm.
Okay. And I think we have more details here no on how it got there, how they really adapted to it.
Exactly. So 20 years ago, in Australia, then the situation was similar to what we have now in the Philippines, where everything is being done by the real estate brokers or agents. No, they do all the work from selling, marketing the properties, getting loans, getting the documentations up to the time of booking the clients, which is good because our real estate
Right.
brokers are well rounded. No, but
Mm-mm.
in Australia, when the mortgage brokers came in, this allowed the real estate brokers and agents and even developers to focus more on just selling and get more commissions, bigger ticket commissions because they're selling more properties, and they allowed the mortgage brokers do the admin work of getting home loans for their clients. So as I mentioned, 60 to 70% of transactions, about 2 out of 3 real estate transactions, are being done by mortgage brokers. So when they came in, everything became simple and seamless for real estate brokers. And that's our dream for the Philippines. That's what we want to see here in the future. No?
Right. And you were talking about how Australian brokers used to do their transactions and how it shifted now. Do you see any similarities with the Australian brokers or international brokers in parallel with our Filipino brokers?
Right now, we're slowly getting there. Then, as you have mentioned, the real estate industry is adopting fast to the changes in technology, especially now that we are in a pandemic. This really like push the real estate industry to go digital. In fact, as you have mentioned earlier, I think you said it increased to 80%, right?
Yes, yes.
The transactions of real estate going digital. And one aspect of real estate transactions, in order for it to be complete, is to get home loan financing, and we want to digitize that as well.
All right. So really, once we get there, diba, like what you said, they can just focus on selling and not the yung ibang bagay na we don't want to worry about anymore, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Ayan. So, I guess at this point, this is a good visualization, no, for our participants here who might be wondering how mortgage brokers normally work. So, can you talk to us more about this graphic here? Why is Nook in the middle?
All right. So essentially, then mortgage brokers act as a middleman or intermediary for property buyers or home loan borrowers in the banks, making sure that everything is covered from pre-qualification up to the time they submit their loan application, up to the
Uh-huh.
time that we get a bank approval, which is all we want, no? And then
Yes.
also to the process of releasing the loan. So we are involved every step of the way, making sure that the entire home loan process will be easy, or will the customer will have a really great experience, no, in terms of getting their home loans done.
Right. So this all really boils down to or goes back to yung point mo kanina na just making home loans easy for all of our home buyers. And guys, you
Yes.
might be wondering where Clar is. So she's just experiencing some technical difficulties. But if you have any questions, you know, let us please let us know on the chat box. Actually, Arvin, while we're talking, I'm looking at the chat and it goes directly to me kasi we're getting a lot of questions so far. So I think super excited talaga sila to
Yes.
know more about Nook.
Don't worry,
Um,
guys. We will be answering that in a short while.
right, right. And I'm interested to know as well, Arvin, no? Ano yung mga factors na prioritize ninyo or kinonsider ninyo in terms of customer experience when you built the platform?
So when we built the platform, what we really considered is the speed, no? In processing the home loans, that's our number one focus, making sure that everything is done faster and more efficiently compared going direct to a bank, no, or going direct to a financial institutions.
Right. Okay. So, and I see here now we have a simple three-step process. So apart from that, diba, I think one of the things that our audience would like to know is how this all ties in or paano ba yung process na to? How does this process apply kay Nook? And what are the things that they need to consider? Since as you can see here, parang ang dali lang, 'di ba? Simple one, two, three. Diba? So
Yes,
explain to us how
exactly.
it all works.
It's as simple as 1, 2, 3, or simple as ABC, no?
Yan,
And
tama.
we will keep saying this. Everyone will keep on saying that it is simple, it is seamless, because that's really what we are want to achieve, no? To make everything simple for the home loan borrower, the entire experience, no? So there's the three simple steps are pre-qualification, loan application, and then of course course, everyone wants a bank approval. No, this
Right.
is the bank's decision. Now, can we go to the next slide then? Okay, so this is the first step, the pre-qualification. So here, a client goes to our website, which is nook.com.ph, and your client gets matched to our partner bank's eligibility requirement. How is that done? So your client will just simply input his details, his
Right.
financial details, income details, his collateral details, and his credit details. No, so it will take about 3 to 5 minutes, and then the system will tell you which banks can most likely give you a loan. So in this
Mm-hmm.
example, as you can see, a client has been matched with 7 banks out of our current 9 banking partners. Oh, we have 11 now. Okay, we
Oh
recently
wow.
signed two
Wow.
partnerships, partner banks. So a client is matched with 7 banks out of 11 banking partners. So here, your client can choose to work with just one bank or several banks. No, provided our home loan consultants will be giving information to the clients in terms of which banks are offering the lowest rates, which banks are offering promotional rates, or which bank is the fastest. So it depends really on the consideration of the clients. So it's still their decision on
Right.
which bank they will be submitting an application. So again, they can
Mm-hmm.
choose to work with just one bank, 2 banks, or several banks. No.
Right. So for clarification, Arvin, no, I'm really curious to know kasi
Mhm.
sabi mo nga they matched with seven banks here, right?
Yes.
So pag nakita mo na kung kanino ka pwedeng mag-match, can you can you compare it? Ganun ba siya?
Exactly. So here, initially you will be seeing the interest rates, how much is your monthly amortizations,
Mm-hmm.
the processing time of the banks. But this is not just it. You can inquire with the home loan consultants who will be assisting you
Okay.
with the entire process. We are 100% digital, but we have home loan consultants who can assist, who will be assisting you with this process. Like we have said, no, a home loan application, especially for first time buyers, can be overwhelming. Diba?
Right.
That's why we still need assistance, especially from experts, no,
That's
who
correct.
can make sure that your entire experience is really simple and seamless.
Oh, and these home loan consultants, siguro kasi may mga property seekers din tayo ngayon na participants, 'di ba? Yung mga
Yes.
home loan consultants ito, all of your conversations are done digitally.
Yes, exactly. So everything is done digitally. There's no need for face-to-face transaction. The client
Mm-hmm.
can even choose what platform to use. They can either
Wow.
use WhatsApp, Viber, Telegram, Zoom, MS meetings, whatever
Oo.
communication platform is where the client is comfortable. We can use that. So no need for face-to-face transaction, which is great because we are the situation that we are in right now. Like you have mentioned, everything is going digital, no, and right now home loans is going digital as well.
Right. And these home loan consultants, nakakatuwa naman kasi sabi mo hindi lang sila isang platform aware, 'di ba? But
Yes,
very aware sila with all of the different messaging platforms or anywhere you want to
exactly.
talk, right? And after pre-qualification, of course they'll start applying for a loan,
Yes,
right?
as soon
So
as
how
they
does this work? Mm-hmm.
yes, as soon as they decide which bank to push through with their application, no, we now proceed with the loan application. We have a team and tech approach. Like I mentioned, we are 100% online, but we have home loan consultants who can assist you. Now,
Mm-hmm.
on the right side of the screen, you see there a status bar that monitors the completeness of your documents. The home loan consultants will ensure that all of these hits 100%, no, making sure that all your legal documents are 100% complete, income documents and even collateral documents are 100% complete. We do not submit incomplete documents to the banks. That's why we submit applications to the banks, all the bank needs to do is assess, no, or review the documents and um, assess the credit worthiness of the application of the clients.
Right. Yeah, and I think this yung itong progress na to, no, yung nakikita mo kung nasan ka na in the process is
Yes.
really helpful kasi I know some of my titos and titas, for example, dati pag when they apply for a loan may checklist talaga sila like ito na
Yes,
tapos ko na
yes.
to or
So
nakausap ko na si
yeah,
ganyan.
so this is exactly like your digital checklist. No, you can
Right.
monitor where. at what point are you already in your application in terms of completing your documents.
Yeah, and so really, really helpful for them kasi and just to add to that, no, for example, for me, I thrive more pag nakikita ko visually kung nasan ako in whatever process
Exactly.
I'm doing, right?
Exactly then.
So the next step of this, syempre na pre-qualify ka na, you're already applying. So the next
Mhm.
step to this is bank approval.
Yes, exactly. So of course, everyone wants a bank approval, but
Yes.
essentially this is the bank's decision. No, so but actually between steps 2 and 3, the loan application will go through certain process that is internal to the bank. These are the
Okay.
credit assessment, appraisal of the property, final credit assessment, final appraisal. No, but each step, every time the bank updates us with the status of the home loan application, we will be updating the clients also real time.
Oh,
We will
wow.
be
Okay.
notifying them via SMS, email, or even through a call on the status of their application. So they don't need to follow up. No, they don't need to chase you, the
Mm-hmm.
brokers. Mr. Broker, where's my application? What happened to my application? No, because we will
Oo.
be proactive in communicating the status of their applications.
Wow, okay. So wala na talaga yung back and forth, 'di mo na kailangan magpa-load para tawagan si broker
Exactly.
or si client.
Exactly
Alright.
then, no, so and it doesn't end there. Then the good news is that when you get a bank approval, we
Mhm.
also help with the post approval process, making sure
Okay.
that we provide all the information needed to the client for them to sign the loan documents, no, which is the important part for in order for the loan proceeds to be released. Again, we communicate everything to the client real time, whatever it is that we get, information that we get from the banks, we communicate this to the clients real time, and we use technology, different platforms, as I have mentioned earlier, no, to communicate this to our borrowers.
Right. And just listening to what you've been talking to us about, Arvin, no. I mean for me, for example, I have not tried doing or applying for a loan yet. Maybe in a few years, 'di ba? But if I were to use Nook's service, siguro isipin ko na lang na nako, I don't need to worry about that. Nook is ano, is taking care of everything, right?
Exactly, it's like having your personal assistant, no, for for your home loan needs.
Yeah, and from beginning kasi to end, sabi mo, 'di ba, yung post process, you also take care of that. So I think,
Yes.
that's really valuable for our home loan borrowers.
Exactly. And we are on top of the applications, meaning that we communicate with the banks or our partner banks regularly on the status of the application. In fact, our operations team meet them on a weekly basis just to get the bank's approval, no, at a faster time para talagang
Mm.
masabi natin na, oh, talagang ano, no, mabilis pala yung proseso ni Nook.
Oo, so kayo na yung nagba-back and forth, right? And
Yes,
this would also be helpful for our brokers to really take this service as well. And just thinking about it, kasi if you're the type of broker who can offer this type of service, right?
yes.
Tapos ni-refer ka nung property seeker mo o nung client mo because you're able to do this, right? It would give you more leads or more clients.
Exactly. And again, as you have mentioned, the broker can focus on just selling and selling and selling
Tama.
more properties. And then we do all the legwork of getting home loan financing for their clients.
Wow. All right. So here this is just a summary, of the three steps that you've talked about.
Yes.
And how long does this process normally last from step 1 to 3?
All right. So, in terms of the bank approval or the bank's decision, the fastest bank that we have experienced in terms of getting an approval for a client is 1 day. Imagine that. In
Wow.
just
Okay.
one
One
day,
day.
we got an
Oo.
approval. Well, of course, this client is we can say is perfect. No, everything is complete.
Ready na lahat.
yeah, ready na lahat, na mabilis na verify ng bank yung mga information that he submitted. Normally, yun naman kasi yung kino-consider ng bank, no, when the application is complete and immediately verifiable, they can make a decision much faster. So that's the fastest we have experienced among our partner banks. But the normal range for an application to be processed usually takes about 5 to 7 banking days, and there are
Okay.
banks who are taking a bit longer, about 7 to 15 banking days.
That's considering, no, that's actually quite fast na kasi I've heard stories before it takes them months talaga
Yes.
to get everything approved. And this actually reminds me of what you said earlier, no, na yung sabi mo yung one day kasi this client is already perfect.
Yes,
Ready na
yes,
lahat,
oo.
'di ba? But
Pero
no,
syempre, hindi
mhm,
naman lahat ng clients ganun ka perfect, but we hope, no? That's
tama.
our
That's our
dream.
dream.
That's our dream for everyone, no? To get a one day home loan approval or one day home loan process.
Kaya yung checklist talaga na nakita ko kanina would be very helpful for them to see
Exactly.
where am I in
Exactly.
the process. All right.
Yes.
So we've been talking about the process, the steps, and another factor that I think our participants here today and our Facebook Live attendees are interested to know would be loan eligibility naman. Ayan. So paano ito
Exactly.
ina-address ni Nook?
All right. So most banks, Den and Klarno, they advertise their home loan product as something as very simple, saying that the client just needs 50,000 pesos, or you are employed for 1 to 2 years, you are already qualified to get a loan. And we all know that is not true. For an ordinary borrower, there's a lot of eligibility requirements that are not known to a common
Tama.
borrower. No, there are dozens, not just dozens, but hundreds of eligibility combinations or permutations that are not known to a borrower when they apply initially. No, so these are just for examples. Banks have different requirements for BPO workers. They have different requirements for OFWs. They have different requirements if you are sea-based, land-based OFWs. And then for employment industry right now, we are in a pandemic, no? A lot of industries are affected in terms of getting home loans. It's hard right now for travel, tourism, hospitality industry to get a home loan. And they have different requirements again for different industries. And banks also have different debt to income ratio. Now, the good thing is that all of these eligibility requirements, the client need not worry about this because we, Nook, we are updated with these eligibility requirements regularly when the banks have changes, or they have changed their eligibility requirements or parameters. We are informed, as I mentioned earlier, our operations team meet the banks regularly. That's why we can match your clients to the right bank. Okay,
Okay,
so
sorry
here.
about that.
Yeah, go.
Naka-mute pala ako. Hindi ko napansin. So I guess
Yeah,
this is an example of how that works, right?
yes, exactly. So visual, this is how it looks like. Instead of the client wasting time with banks A, B, and D, Nook can already tell the client that most likely bank C can give you an approval. That's why we can just proceed with bank C, because we all know the eligibility requirements of bank C and it matches you, the client, no, and we can proceed with the home loan application with just this bank and not waste time with the other banks.
Right. And we have a question here on the chat which I think we can address no with our next point. They're asking who are your partners,
All
and I think
right.
they also want to know who you've partnered with para ma-match yung loan eligibility.
All right. So that's why we use technology heavily to match the client's eligibility requirements with our partner banks, because it's impossible, no, without using technology to match a client to the dozens of parameters of a bank, no. So these are our current banking partners. We have BDO, BPI, RCBC, Union Bank, and we're continuously adding more banking partners as we speak. In fact, all banks that are offering home loans, we are talking to them. I mentioned earlier we added two financial
Right.
institutions. These are Welcome Bank and Right Choice Financial. You'll be seeing more of them in our platform as soon as we complete their onboarding process. So
Wow.
we
Okay.
not only partner then and Clar with universal and commercial banks, we also partner with rural banks and even other financial institutions who are non-banks and offer but still offering home loans or financial products.
Okay. All right. So I can see here, no, the top banks that Filipinos go
Yes.
to for for home loans. Ayan. So
Exactly.
And again, I keep saying this every time I check a slide, pero grabe talaga, Arvin. We're getting a lot of questions. But don't worry, guys, we're almost there. Just keep those questions coming in. Okay, so at this point, in our conversation, no, Arvin, I think what our participants would like to see now, or siguro mas madali sa atin if mabivisualize natin how it's like to use Nook for home loans compared to the traditional way.
Yes. So instead of your clients or you, the broker, going to each bank, talking to each bank on what their requirements are, what are their eligibility requirements are, no, your client just goes to Nook. They just talk to us, and we talk to several banks. So this saves them a lot of time, which is very important now. Sabi nga nila 'di ba, time is gold. Ang favorite
Yan,
motto
tama.
natin nung elementary
Oo.
tayo,
Hanggang
'di ba?
ngayon.
Hanggang ngayon,
Oo.
yes. So it's very important for us not to save time, no, and focus on other important things and let Nook worry, no, about your home loan applications.
Right. And this is what you've been talking to us about. No, this is really why you use technology is to make all of that process simple and fast, right?
Yes, our favorite word then to make it simple, no? Make
Yan.
everything simple for our property buyers and of course also for our uh real estate brokers and agents as well.
Okay. So speaking of simple and technology, Arvin, no, I believe that Nook has also partnered with some of the biggest names in the real estate industry, right?
Yes, then so definitely number one on the list is Lamudi, of course, one of our biggest partners, and we partners with other brands as well, PLDT Global, Remax, Acquire, and a lot more. We're continuously adding more strategic partners because we want all Filipinos to be aware that mortgage brokering is now available in the Philippines. Actually, we do not just cater Den and Clar to Filipinos here. We
Right.
cater to Filipinos nationwide and globally as well. No
Even
OFWs.
OFWs.
Yes, we have assisted OFWs. That's why we partnered with PLDT Global. They are the international arm of PLDT to reach out to more OFWs and allow them to experience the mortgage brokering service here in our country. And they are surprised, no? They are surprised that and happy to know that finally a mortgage broker, a real mortgage broker, is now existing in the Philippines.
Right. And that's an interesting point, Arvin, kasi for our, for our brokers, for example, I know na they get a lot of increase as well from OFWs. Kasi
Mhm.
syempre gusto nila mag-invest talaga in properties here in the Philippines. And
Yes,
just looking at this list that you have here, you have a lot of the biggest names here in the industry, and you can see that these companies really see how valuable prop tech is, such as Nook, diba? And how it really integrates with their business.
exactly. So these companies are really fast adopting, no, to the technology that is being used in the property industry, in the real estate industry. That's why they are very much advanced. No, they are fast in closing business deals because they are adopting to the real estate technology or the prop tech, no, that is very much present now uh, in our industry.
Right, right. And can you also share with us, Arvin? I think I had one of the questions here like that as well. Now, how do you partner with our real estate professionals?
All right, so it's very simple, especially if you're Lamudi broker,
Mhm.
meaning you are subscribed to Lamudi already. No, if you are an agent or a broker who is subscribed to Lamudi, you are an automatic partner of Nook as well. No, all you need to do
Wow.
is create your Nook account, and this will allow you to refer your clients using our platform. So
Mhm.
the way we do it is as all you need to provide to us is in our platform, you create your account and then you just provide us the name in the referral section of the platform. provide us the name of your client, the mobile number, and the email of your clients, and then we will be contacting your clients within 24 to 48 hours. In fact, if you submit the names in the morning, we will be contacting them within the day. No, so
Okay.
that's how fast we respond. So those are the three basic informations that we need, but you can also add information such as what property is your client buying, how much is it, how much is the property, and also alternative contact details, no, if available, especially for OFW clients. If
Mm-hmm.
your clients prefers uh, a time where they want to be contacted and what platform they want to use, you can include that as well in your referral. No, so again, it's very simple. Just log into your Nook account, create your Nook account, and then you can use the referral button in the Nook platform.
All right. So, kung yung application natin, step 1, 2, 3, ABC, this one naman, 1 to 5.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. But the real estate brokers, those who are
Mm-mm.
referring clients to us, will just be involved in steps 1 and 2, and we take care of everything.
Okay. All right. So thank you for giving us that context, Arvin. And ang daming ano nito, ang daming advantages for our brokers, for our home
Yes.
loan borrowers. And I guess iniisip nila ngayon, 'di ba? How much does all of this cost? Meron ba tong service fee or anything?
Yeah, can we have a quick survey? Ah, yan, lumabas na pala. It's okay. So this actually is 100% free. No, the good thing about this is you get 100% service of a mortgage broker.
Okay.
It's like having your own home loans team, your own marketing team for home loans, no, and
Mm-hmm.
still not add cost to your operations, diba? Because
Tama.
it's 100% free. We do not charge the broker for this service, and we do not charge the clients for the service. Now, even if the client gets disapproved, we will not be charging them. So imagine that, no, having it's like having an additional team that helps you with your real estate transactions, but not adding any cost to your operational expense.
Right. So think of Nook as kumbaga the extension of yourself in
Yes.
helping you with all of your real estate transactions. All
Mhm.
right. So baka kasi iniisip nila kanina, magkano ba to? Ang daming advantages eh. Like it might cost me this much pesos, 'di ba? But it's
Yeah,
100% free. Okay.
exactly then.
Okay. So I think, apart from being free, totally free, there are also exciting promos that our viewers today can look forward to.
Yes. So if you are a broker and agent and you refer a client to us, or if you are a property buyer and you apply to Nook, you get a chance to win 1 year of home loan repayments, meaning the entire year of 2022, you will not be paying monthly amortizations because Nook will take care of that. All you need to do is apply for a loan or refer your clients. And once your client gets approved and they book the loan through Nook, they get a chance to win in this promo. This is ongoing, and it will end by the second week of December, and we will raffle this off at the third week of December. Another promo that we have is for real estate brokers and agents. So we have a Nook referral program wherein if you are the top referrer for the months May up to June, you can get a chance to win up. You can get cash prize up to 50,000 pesos if you are the top referrer, agent, or broker. No, so the minimum requirement is submit 3 qualified referrals. Qualified meaning the account is submitted to the bank, no, the application is complete, no, in order for your referral to be counted in this promo.
All right. And I think Arvin, marami kasi kanina nagtatanong ano ba yung contact details ni
Right.
Arvin. Okay, so we're showing you now how you can connect to Arvin. So flashed here is his mobile number and his email address.
Yes, take a snapshot, guys, a quick snapshot.
Mag-screenshot na tayo
Screenshot.
ngayon. Oo, if you guys wanna reach out to Arvin, partner with Nook, take a screenshot of this. All right.
Yes.
So I think yeah, I think that that sums up our discussion for today, no? Arvin. But before anything, right? We will be answering all of the questions now. Are you
All
ready,
right.
Arvin? Medyo marami
Okay.
to ah. Buti na lang we have 20 minutes left. Right?
All
So kung
right.
meron
Sige.
pang gustong pahabol dyan, go ahead guys. Just keep those questions coming in. So
Okay.
Arvin, this question is from Eric. He says, does your service in effect increase the cost of the home loan?
All right. So as I've mentioned earlier, this is 100% free. We do not charge any additional service fee, any processing fee. No, even with the banks, whatever your client needs to pay directly to the bank, that's it. No,
Okay.
that I think those are the appraisal fees, the mortgage redemption, insurance, the processing fee of the banks. We do not add anything to that. Again, it's 100% free, so this doesn't increase the home loan amount or the monthly
Right.
amortization that your client needs to pay. No,
So regardless if
no hidden
kunyari,
charges.
so regardless if punta ako mismo sa bank or I go to Nook, I'll get the same amount if I
Yes,
were the home
exactly.
loan borrower. All
Exactly.
right. So take note of that, guys. No hidden charges here.
Ex-
So this question is from Russell. Okay. What is the difference in the requirements with the bank and with Nook?
All right, the requirements are the same. Essentially, banks' requirements, they provide that to us, and we inform the clients what are those requirements. Now, the good thing about us is that if you are a broker, no, you don't need to worry about following up with your clients because we will be the ones who will contacting them. You know, kami yung mangungulit sa mga kliyente nyo, ma'am,
Tama.
nasa na po yung inyong payslips, nasa na po yung COE nyo, no? So this
Mm-hmm.
saves a lot of time to the brokers and agents, no, in following up these requirements from their clients, because again, we are like an extension of yourself, as Den have mentioned earlier, no, para
Mm-mm.
kaming additional arm or
Tama.
we are like an additional team talaga for you brokers and agents in assisting your clients and helping them complete the real estate transaction.
Okay. So kanina nakita ko rin yung check. Yun talaga yung tumatak sa akin, yung checklist na with the
Yes.
requirements, right? You can just check it there. And you guys are, like what you said kanina, lagi kayong updated with the new requirements from the bank,
Yes,
right?
exactly. So we get that regularly on a weekly basis. If there are changes, we update our partners, our clients, or even our broker partners with the changes in the eligibility requirements of the banks and even documentary requirements.
Okay. All right. So we have another question here. Sabi ko sa'yo, Arvin, marami talagang questions. So this one
That's
says,
good.
what about escrow services like in the US to check all the documentation? So sino daw yung gumagawa nun for this one?
Right now, the documentation, the ones that checks the documents are the is still the banks, but we do pre-screening. We screen the documents, making sure that everything is valid. No, that the banks will be accepting those documents. Actually, from our end, palang, if we see any discrepancies with the application, we might reject the application right away. But of
Okay.
course, we will not just reject it, but help the client, no, update his application to make sure that we can get an approval from the banks, no. So kumbaga talagang our home loan consultants are really experts in identifying what is lacking with the documentary requirements, what is needed to in order for the banks to approve his or her application. So for example, a client submits a payslip, no, nakita natin doon na yung payslip na sinubmit ni client is just example lang, 25,000 pesos. Of course, there are banks who wouldn't be accepting that. So we immediately tell the client, sir, you might need a co-borrower in order for us to get a higher chance of getting an approval from our partner banks. No? So hindi naman namin agad sinasabi, no, you cannot submit because
Right, right.
that's only your salary. No? We help them. No? Kumbaga, we find ways, sabi nga ng isang partner bank namin, to help
Ang galing
them
ng segue mo doon,
uh,
Arvin.
to help them get an approval from the banks.
Right.
Mm-mm.
Okay. So take note of that, guys. Here is a question from Princeton. So does Nook cater only to home loans? How about construction loans for building homes?
All right. So yes, we do cater to construction loans as well. Actually, the products that we offer are is dependent with the product offerings of the bank. So this can be purchase of properties, acquisition of properties, construction loans, refinancing even. So we have all our partner banks have different home loan products or residential loan products that that they offer, and we offer that to our clients as well.
Okay. All right. And then here's another question for you, Arvin. Is Nook already or planning to be a partner of Pag-ibig?
Yes, we are talking to Pag-ibig as well. I hope soon, we are under negotiations and we are discussing with them as well uh, to have a partnership. So watch out for that, guys. Maybe this year or early next year. No, we will have
Right.
Pag-ibig in our platform. Not just
Mm-hmm.
Pag-ibig, but other banks and non-banking institutions who are offering financial loans. We
Right.
will be we are constantly partnering with them or seeking partnerships.
Okay. So, lalo na marami talagang mga Filipino home buyers who rely on not just banks but also Pag-ibig. So, it's good that Nook is tapping into that as
Yeah,
well.
we are tapping everyone actually
Oo,
who is
lahat
offering home
ng may
loans.
isip nyo. Nook is tapping that. Okay.
Yes.
So, and for the next question, Arvin, actually two questions to, pero tied into one question.
All
So,
right.
the first one, I think you were already able to address this earlier, but Jonalyn says, for OFW, pwede ba sila mag-apply online? And then the other question, I think pareho naman, si Miss Helen says, I have a Filipina condo buyer living in Canada. Can Nook assist her home loan through even though she doesn't have a bank account in the Philippines. So Filipina condo buyer in Canada pero walang bank account in the Philippines.
Yes,
Mhm.
definitely we can assist OFWs. We have assisted OFWs in processing their loans here in the Philippines. Important things to remember lang. Usually for OFWs, they are asked to submit consularized documents. Also, if they can prepare that ahead of time, no, consularized SPAs. I'm sure our brokers is very familiar with the requirements, no? Usually yun lang naman yung kailangan natin from our OFWs na nag-a-apply ng home loans. But definitely yes, we can assist OFWs
Very
Okay.
interesting, no?
anywhere in the world.
Kasi meron din akong question. Sorry guys, I was out. No, anyway, so we have that same question. Even from my direct message. No, Phil, I'm based in Florida in the U.S. Possible ba daw ang financing with Nook, and really seeing how international Nook is getting also.
Yes, we are
Right.
very much international.
That's right.
We are global, no? We are
That's correct.
global.
That's correct.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Another interesting question then. Very curious question. No, should a client be disapproved? What would happen next? No, will he or she be referred to another bank?
Okay, so great question. As I mentioned earlier, borrowing from our partner banks, motto, we find ways. Okay, so when a client gets disapproved with for example, he chose bank A and gets a disapproval from that bank, no, we identify what's wrong with the application and help the client find another bank that can help with his home loan application. So we don't immediately say that your client, Mr. Client, you are disapproved, we cannot do anything. We help the clients, no, get an approval or help with the documentations that are needed to increase the chances of his application to be approved. So example lang, no, so sometimes kasi this is common na alam natin to lahat na most of the time there when you ask a client initially, sir, may utang po ba kayo sa credit card or existing loan, sasabihin nila wala because
Hala,
they
wala
don't
yan.
Oo, because they
Oo.
thought 10 years, 20 years ago na utang, hindi na magre-reflect sa banks, no?
Right.
Not knowing that banks will find out.
Mhm.
So, yung mga bagay na ganun, so
Mhm.
we help them identify those and help them procure a certificate, either a certificate of complete payment or a clearance from the banks, no? We help them identify kung ano ba yung naging problema sa application niya para matulungan namin siya makakuha ng approval sa banks.
Okay.
Right.
So, another question that we have here from Zarina Sanchez, sabi niya, are the partner banks open or hesitant to transacting loans online since this is a new technology for Philippine banks?
All right. A good thing is that most banks now are going digital as well. No, a lot of banks are adopting to technology. That's why you see a lot of online banking, diba, mobile banking very much present now. So
Mhm.
same not just with the other banking products, but with home loans as well. They are if the term is correct, digitizing. Is that the correct term then? Digitizing?
Digitalizing. Basta yon, gets
Digitalizing,
natin
basta yun na
yan.
yun. They are
Oo.
making things online, no? To make it simple, seamless, and fast for our clients.
All right. So,
Yes.
any questions from your end, Clar? I have a couple of questions from my end
Right.
here.
Yeah, Arvin, no, we're flooding you with questions here,
It's
but
okay. We have few
it's
more
great.
minutes.
Right. So
Uh,
we have a curious question too from JB. So sabi niya, I'm just curious if you're offering all these amazing features and services for free, how is your business earning from these?
All right. So we get the referral fee. So banks provide the referral
Mhm.
fees as soon as an application is approved and booked. We get the referral fees from the banks.
Right.
no.
So that's how
Okay.
we earn.
So I'm sure
Mm.
because I know most of us then are who are listening, they're also curious now all of these seamless payments, simple
Mhm.
transactions, all of these features. Paano nga ba nag-grow ang Nook, right? So all right. So then next question on you.
I think maybe
Yes. Mhm.
sorry then, no.
Go
Just a
ahead.
follow up to that question lang. I guess the next answer is also you're getting the referral fees. So sasabihin ng brokers, paano kami? Okay, paano kami? Okay, so we to the brokers and agents, no, if you refer an account to us, and then it gets approved and booked, we will share 50% of the referral fees to you. So whatever we get from the
Mm.
bank,
Mhm.
50% of that we will be sharing to the brokers and agents who referred the loan to us.
Right. And I think it actually answers my next question. Kasi sabi niya, how can we earn commission? This is from Helen Diaz. Sabi niya,
Yes.
how can we earn commission if our client home loan approved is through Nook? So the 50%, right?
Yes, that's correct. So they
Okay.
might be thinking na, but ganun 50%. Imagine, no? Doing less work for getting a home loan for your clients, but still getting 50% of the commission that we will be getting from the banks. Kumbaga, talagang magfo-focus ka na lang on selling, selling, selling more properties and let
Mhm.
Nook worry about your clients' home loan applications. Hindi mo na kailangan mag-follow up sa client mo ng nasa na po yung payslip nyo, nasa na yung COE nyo, no? And hindi ka na rin mangungulit sa bank, nasa na yung application ng client ko, nasa na? Because we will do
Right.
all that for you, no? We will absorb all the headaches that you are experiencing in
Oo.
getting home loans for your clients.
Ikaw ang Advil ng ng mga brokers natin.
Meron
Ayan.
din nga akong note dito, parang sinok daw ay isang PA, right? PA
Yes,
natin. All
Tama,
right.
tama. And
exactly.
mhm. And another question here, sino daw yung mga entitled to use Nook? Are there any requirements para makapag siguro I think for their clients, no? Paano nila malalaman if pwede ko bang i-apply ito or what?
Mhm.
All right. So in terms of I think ang tinatanong niya if you are a partner, no, how do you
Mhm.
partner with, yun ba yung tanong niya, then how do you partner with, no, is that
The question actually is who is entitled or permitted to use Nook?
All
So
right.
maybe you can
Actually,
explain na lang for both ends.
all right.
Kasi they did
So
not specify.
for brokers and agents, definitely you can use Nook, no, to refer your clients to us. Especially if you are a Lamudi broker, meaning you are subscribed to Lamudi, you are an agent who is subscribed to Lamudi. Automatic, you are a partner of Nook. You just create an account and start referring clients, no, because we know if you are a Lamudi partner because Lamudi Lamudi and Nook has a partnership. But if you just in case you are not yet a Lamudi partner, do subscribe to Lamudi.
Ang galing
No,
talaga sa segue ni
Oo
Arvin
nga
from
eh.
from we find ways to subscribe to the Moody. Ayan.
All right,
Bigyan
subscribe to
natin ng
Lamudi.
heart. Heart
So,
reaction yan si Arvin.
kidding aside, just in case you are not a partner of Lamudi and you want to partner directly with us, please get in touch with me. I think Den has already. Can we go back to my
Right.
contact details? Then,
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
Please contact me, no, just in case you are not yet a partner. But of course, it will be much better if you partner with Lamudi, and because that automatically makes you a partner of Nook as well. Yun.
Ayan. So, sabi nga ni Miss Helen dito sa chat, ang galing mag-advertise ni Sir Arvin. Okay, so guys, we have 5 minutes left. We're gonna answer two more questions.
Right.
Okay.
Clar, let's hear the second to the last from your end.
Okay, so question from Lorelei. How would you know in the Nook platform if the partnered banks by Nook are accredited by the developer?
Can you
Lor-
repeat that, Clara? Sorry.
All right, so I think let me rephrase it now. How would you know in the Nook platform if yung banks are accredited by the developer?
All right. In the platform itself, that information is not available. But we,
Mhm.
in Nook, we are aware of which developers are already accredited with
Wow.
our partner
Okay.
banks. No, so we get that information. So if you submit developer client, for example, you submitted just for example, a Ayala Land client
Mhm.
or a Robinson's Land client to
Mhm.
us, we can already tell which banks are accredited si developer para alam na namin kung saan namin siya dadalhin. That's why it's important when you refer a client, no,
Mhm.
when you do the referrals, you identify what is the property of your client, what's the developer, and how much is the property para more or less we have an idea already, no, kung saan ba most likely mapupunta si client, no.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So just down to our last question. Actually, Clark, karamihan ng question ko is about the commissions. And Arvin was already able to address that. But I think the last question that we can address for now is that how can we be sure that personal data is kept confidential?
Yeah, of course, that is very much important. We highly consider that we have data privacy agreement with our banking partners, and even you as a broker and agents, when you sign up with Nook, in the terms and conditions, there's a data privacy agreement as well. We do not share information outside of our network. We when you submit an application to us, we make sure it goes to the bank of choice of the clients. No, so we do not just submit to multiple banks unless the client gave us instructions that we submitted to multiple banks. No? So it's really dependent din sa client kung saan niyang banko gusto mag-submit ng application, and we do not share that to our partner banks easily unless we get instructions from the client.
Right. Okay. So safety rin, 'di ba? Not just simple but also safety is also there. Okay. So we
Yes.
actually still have a lot of questions, Arvin, but for any additional questions, guys, or other anything you want to ask Arvin, again, his contact details are here. Take a screenshot of this. Give him an email, maybe a text, and he will get back to you with all of your inquiries.
Yes.
Ayan. So, ang daming interested participants for today. All right. So, thank you so much, Arvin,
Thank
for
you, Dan
being
and
with us
Clar. Thank you so
today.
much.
Right. And I'd also like to thank as well our 200 participants who joined us today. Just to share with you guys, Lamudi Academy has a lot of learning solutions from going digital to succeed with Lamudi. And if you guys want to, attend one of these sessions again, one of our monthly sessions or free training sessions, take a screenshot of this, scan the QR codes, join us on our WhatsApp and Viber group. And like what Arvin has been sharing earlier for our Lamudi partners, we have the Lamudi Advantage, where one of our partners is Nook. Ayan. So to learn more, go visit lamudi.com.ph/agent-benefits. Okay, so once again thank you so much, guys. Thank you, Arvin. Any last thoughts for our participants today?
All right. So thank you, Dan. Thank you, Clark. Thank you, Lamudi Academy. Thank you to all our participants, 200 plus participants. We are excited to partner with you. I hope to see you in our platform, to hope to see your referrals coming in. If you are a property buyer, see you soon in our
Yes.
platform. Hope to get more referrals from you guys.
Yes, and I'm sure our participants in Zoom and even on Facebook, right, learned a
True.
lot from
That's
you
right.
today, Arvin. So once again, this has been Den from the Lamudi Academy, and
Flor from the Lamudi Academy.
okay, so thank you so much, guys. Have a great week ahead. Thank you, Arvin.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much, Arvin. We'll see you soon. Bye
All
bye.
right. Bye bye.